cruisinwithted.com video production, an insider's look at the Rocky Mountaineer, Rockies to the Red Rocks, featuring Rocky Mountaineer's own Nicholas Mendenhall.
All right, thank you for joining us today. This is a Rocky Mountaineer video presentation inside the Rocky Mountaineer. We're going to talk about a lot of things you may not know about the Rocky Mountaineer now. Your co-hosts are here, Nicholas Mendenhall, like the glaciers. He's the sales development manager for Rocky Mountaineer. This is Ted Kowalski, president of Cruisin with Ted. I don't just do cruises, I do all kinds of things, including Rocky Mountaineer. So, Nicholas, why don't you get started with your presentation? And if you're not familiar with it, I hope you learned something new today. Take it away, Nico.
All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, can everyone see my screen there?
Yeah, you just need to go on presentation mode. There you are. Great.
All right, excellent. So thank you so much for having me this afternoon. As Ted mentioned, my name is Nico Mendenhall, and I am the sales development manager with Rocky Mountaineer. I cover Alabama, Florida, and Puerto Rico. So a little bit about Rocky Mountaineer. We are a luxury rail experience. We are all-inclusive as well, so while on board with us, all of your meals and drinks, including alcohol, are included. We only travel by daylight, so that means that we do not have sleeper cars on board. So that means when we get to our midpoint destinations, you get off the train, and then we transport you to a hotel where you spend the night, and then get back on the train the next day to continue your journey. So it's a very comfortable experience. So this is a map of North America. This is where we operate. So we operate in Canada. We connect Vancouver to Banff, Lake Louise, and Jasper. And then more specifically, we're going to be talking about our Rockies to the Red Rocks route, which connects Denver to Moab, Utah. And then from there, we can take you either up to Salt Lake City or do a tour extension out to Las Vegas, which I will talk about in a bit. So this is our newest route. We actually launched this route in the middle of the pandemic back in 2021. Great thing to do in the travel industry when the entire world was closed up. But we've received a lot of great traction, and it's a truly beautiful route. So as you can see, this is the map here. We go from Denver, and then we overnight in the beautiful town of Glenwood Springs, and then before ending in Moab. We also do operate our trains both eastbound and westbound, so you are able to start in Moab and end in Denver, and then vice versa. I'm going to show a little video here. I was having a little trouble with the sound, but we'll see if we can get it to play.
If it doesn't play, you can, explain what we're looking
at.
Yeah.
So this is just an overview of our route here. This is our train carts, train coaches that we operate in. They're large and spacious. There we have the route there, Denver to Moab. So on the first day, you're going to be departing Denver and leaving the plains of Colorado and going through the Big Ten curve, one of the rail modern marvels in engineering. And then following that, you go through a series of different tunnels, including the Moffat Tunnel, which crosses the Continental Divide at over 9,000 feet, 6-mile long tunnel. And then from there, you head through a series of canyons, including Byers Canyon, and then you're basically at the headwaters of the Colorado River, and following that the entire way, which is really nice. It's pretty incredible to see that, it looks like a stream at that point, but eventually, that's what carves out the Grand Canyon. And then we get into Glenwood Springs. You depart in about 9 o'clock in the morning, get into Glenwood around 5 p.m. And then the second day, we continue our journey going through DeBeck Canyon and going past the Grand Mesa, which also includes Mount Garfield there, which is a stunning mountain. As you can see there, it's a lot of lush green area near Palisades, Colorado, which is known as the wine region of Colorado. which I did not know that Colorado was famous for their wines. And then I continue on, and as you can see, the scenery starts to transform into those red rocks, more desert-like, going through Ruby Canyon. And then, before getting into Moab, you're on the train this day from about 7 a.m., getting into Moab around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But these are the route highlights, so you go through the Big Ten curve, right out the bat going out of Denver. And then from there you go through a series of different, I think it's like 32 tunnels or so that you go through, culminating in the Moffat Tunnel, which I mentioned is at over 9,000 feet. You have about a half-mile of earth above you going through the mountains, and it's a 6-mile long tunnel that cuts through the Continental Divide. When you come out the other side, you're in Winter Park, Colorado. It's the more precipitous side of the Colorado Rockies. So you have some great evergreen trees in the area, and you're basically at the headwaters of the Colorado River. It's beautiful to see how such a mighty river starts off pretty small. And then continuing on, you go through Palisades. This is a picture that I took going past Mount Garfield on the train. And this is known as Colorado's wine region right here. And then you get through Ruby Canyon before getting into Moab. So we are excited to bring you on board. These are our hosts that we have on board. The hosts, in addition to serving your meals and drinks, they're also giving narration during the duration of your train trip. So they're telling you about the history, the geography, pointing out different landmarks. They're pointing out wildlife sightings as well. I saw about 20 bald eagles, numerous bighorn sheep. So lots of great wildlife. Even saw some buffalo as well. So now I want to touch base regarding our service levels. So if you are familiar with Rocky Mountaineer, especially in Canada, we do operate both SilverLeaf and Goldleaf. In the United States, we only operate with SilverLeaf and SilverLeaf Plus. That's because the bi-level coaches in Canada on the Goldleaf service are too tall for the tunnels. So we do have the SilverLeaf, and then we introduced the SilverLeaf Plus, which is exclusive to our US route. So it's a single leaf coach. As you can see, we have the dome windows. Our menus, you have about 2 to 3 items to choose from. Our menus are inspired by the region that you're traveling in. So for example, when I was on board, we had beef short rib, which I could use a fork to cut through. They had locally caught trout, tamale pies, and then of course our famous Belgian waffles, which are definitely something you don't want to miss out on. So it is a very comfortable service. Everything is brought to your seat. As I mentioned, everything included, including the food and the beverages. There we got some dessert right there for you. So as you can see how spacious the seats are and how immense the windows are. So it really doesn't, engulfs you in the scenery that you're traveling through. And then let's talk about SilverLeaf Plus. So this is an upgrade that you can purchase while traveling on the train with us. It does give you access to 2 additional lounge cars while on the train. The lounge cars gives you access to walk around and experience more areas of the train. There's ample, comfortable seating in each of them. It's a really great place to socialize and connect with other like-minded travelers. Each of them is equipped with a walk-up bar that crafts signature cocktails inspired by the areas that we're traveling through. So this one here, this is the one lounge coach that is themed to the golden age of rail travel during the 1950s. So as you can see, plenty of comfortable seats. There's additional chairs behind me in that picture, and then we have the nice walk-up bar there. There's the additional seats right there with some tables. And if you look at the back right, we actually do have a player piano back there with a tablet next to it built into the wall. So you can actually select a song and it'll start playing it on the piano, which is pretty cool. There's also some board games in there, as well as an additional lavatory. The second lounge car that you'll have access to is a more contemporary feel to it. So nice leather seating, nice stone walk-up bar as well. So just to kind of give you a little aesthetic variety when traveling with us. So I do have another video here for SilverLeaf Plus. And the SilverLeaf Plus lounge cars are attached to a specific coach that all SilverLeaf Plus guests are sitting in. So you won't have a mixture of people who didn't pay for it, going in and that sort of thing. So it is definitely an exclusive perk for you. In addition to the lounge cars, we also do wine pairings with our meals for our SilverLeaf Plus guests. The bartenders on board are super friendly, and they also do provide the narration while traveling. They're always in great spirit, so it really elevates your journey with us on the Rockies to the Red Rocks. So let's talk a little bit about our destinations. So Denver, not much needed to say here. It is the Mile High City. These are some of the hotel partners that we work with. We have the Hotel Indigo, the Raleigh Hotel, which overlooks Coors Field, and then the Crawford Hotel, which is located inside of Union Station, which is a really cool perk of that hotel. Denver is a great city if you do love trains. Their main mode of public transportation is trains, so that's pretty cool. Also known for their local breweries and beer culture, as well as their gastronomy. Plenty of great different restaurants available, whether if you're looking for Asian, American, barbecue, European, Hispanic, it's all there. Then Glenwood Springs. This was a real treat for me because I really didn't know what to expect when going there. So it's a really cute town in the mountains. The hotel partners that we work with there, it says the Hotel Denver. It's actually now the Maxwell Anderson Hotel. That's where I stayed. It was fantastic. Right across from the train station, right across the street. We also have the Hotel Colorado, very famous historic hotel that Teddy Roosevelt stayed at. And then we also work with the Courtyard Marriott. What's great about Glenwood Springs is it's known for its natural hot springs. So there is the main Glenwood hot springs right across the street from the Hotel Colorado. But a 20-minute walk, there is Iron Mountain Springs, which is where I went to. A little bit nicer experience with several pools, at different temperatures. So you have the opportunity to soak in some hot springs after traveling on the train with us. Then getting into Moab. Desert oasis in eastern Utah. So as I mentioned before, it is the home to Arches National Park. There is a lot to do here especially if you are active. So you're able to do some tours at the national parks, both Arches and Canyonlands. There's biking, there's hiking. There is an enterprise there, and if you'd like, you can actually rent a car to have a bit more mobility to get you around, which is what I did. And one of the other activities that we did was drive into Arches at night to do some stargazing, which was pretty incredible.
Nico?
Yes.
This is Ted. Sorry to interrupt. Could you remind people if they have any questions, if anything they want to say in the chat? Maybe they've been on Rocky Mountaineer before. We'd love to hear from them. If they have a future one planned, questions, could you ask them to use the chat?
Yes, please use the chat if you have any questions that come up or like to share your experience with us.
Nico, this is Nina from Cruisin with Ted. I'm listed under Shelley, so I'm traveling incognito today. But we did have a question. Laura Lee had a question whether or not we share the rails with freight trains.
Yes, so we do own our trains, but we do not own the tracks itself. So one thing to mention is in the U.S., the passenger coaches that travels on them, so specifically us, we do get right away. So when traveling with them, I've noticed a lot of the freight trains, they are able to pull over to the side, and we pass through freely. In Canada, it is the opposite. In Canada, the freight trains do have right of way. And, at times there can be some waits, waiting for one of the freight trains to pass by. We do travel at an average of 30 miles an hour. I forgot to mention that. So you are really able to take in the scenery while on the train. Also, if we do have any wildlife sightings, going through any points of interest, such as the canyons and that sort of thing, we will slow down to 5 miles an hour. So then that way you're able to snap those photos, to capture those memories. Good question. Thank you.
Very great. Thank you.
So this was one tour that I did out there. This is the sunset tour of Arches National Park. We were able to go in and see Park Avenue. We saw Delicate Arch. And then as we got close to sunset, we went up to the North Window Arch and was able to watch the sunset from there, which was stunning. Another tour opportunity that I was able to participate in was the 4x4 Hummer off-roading excursion, where they took us to Sandy Flats Recreation Area. And we boarded this 8-passenger Hummer that's open air and went off-roading and went up some steep inclines that I had no idea that vehicles could actually do that. But you get some really great views of the Colorado River from there, and the surrounding areas of Moab. But also nearby is Dead Horse Point State Park, maybe about a 30-minute ride from downtown Moab. This state park is actually famous from the movie Thelma and Louise, where they drove the car off the cliff. So if you see that cliff off to the left side there, that's where they drove their car off.
Is the car still there?
No, I think they cleaned it up after the movie.
Maybe it was a rental.
Yeah, rental. And then also a little bit further out, maybe about another 20-30 minutes from Dead Horse Point is Canyonlands, which gives you a totally different perspective, totally different feel from Arches National Park. You have these vast canyons that are just sprawling, and it really makes you feel super small. So there really is a lot to do in this area. But one thing I do want to mention is we do have our Rockies to the Red Rocks Mighty 5 Explorer. So after experiencing Denver and Glenwood Springs and Moab, if you'd like to continue the adventure and you are into national parks, from Moab, we pick you up in a 10-passenger Sprinter van where we take you through Capitol Reef National Park. And then from there, you overnight in Bryce Canyon and have dinner and a show included. The following day, we take you to Zion National Park before ending in Las Vegas. So this is a great way to see the Mighty 5 National Parks of Utah. And as you can see here, we have Capitol Reef. We have Bryce Canyon and Zion National Park. So as I mentioned before, we operate April through October. Actually, for 2025, we are extending the USA route to mid-November. So that way, if you are looking for to see some snow and get away from the Florida heat, this is if you are in the Southeast, the heat, it's a great time to travel and see some snow. So the spring months is a really good time to do this route. The snow is starting to melt, so that's when a lot of the wildflowers are in bloom, which is really nice. Summer, I'm not gonna lie, Moab is in the desert. It will be hot, but we'll definitely have those sunny skies, longer days, but again, the temperatures are going to be pretty hot. And then we have our autumn season. When I went in October. This is a great time of year to go. The weather starts to cool off a bit, not as hot during the summer. And along the way, you have these beautiful aspen trees that turn this beautiful golden color. So it's a great time to see some fall foliage. And then I love Rocky Mountaineer because they pay my bills, but there are a lot of organizations out there that feel the same way about us. So these are some of the accolades that we received over the past year or so.
Nico, we're mainly covering the Red Rocks route, correct?
Yep, that is correct. That's what we're focusing on today.
So many are asking about the Canadian Rockies. We also have these Zooms where we'll cover that as well. So because this is fairly new and not everybody knows about it, we decided to cover this today, but stay tuned. We will have more developments and so forth, right, Nico?
Yep, definitely. Yep. If, moving forward, we can do another presentation, focused on our Canadian roots.
Okay. And then one of the reasons why I wanted to have this today is, although Nico can share the exact news, I believe there's some new things coming out. So
yes, definitely stay tuned when it comes to future expansion in the U.S. So that's all I can say for right now, but definitely keep that on your radar for 2026.
So stay tuned. I'll tell you how to get the news and find out, okay? Was there anything else?
There is one more quick question. Phil would want to know if you can verify on this Red Rocks itinerary, are there just part of 2 days on the train?
Yeah, so it is a 2-day train route, but you are able to add nights so essentially it's a 2-day train route though, but your package could be anywhere from 5 to 7 nights with traveling with Rocky Mountaineer. We also do a circle journeys as well. We do have a round trip Denver. So if you wanted to stay in Moab and start in Denver, you can do 3 nights in Moab and then return back to Denver to get 4 days on the train.
Okay, great, thank you.
Anything else? Okay, sounds like we're okay then. So
I guess one more question, sorry. Somebody is very interested in the Canadian routes, and do you think that we can put out there when we might do the next presentation that has that information?
I'll show you in a minute where you can follow us and know exactly when that's going to be, okay?
Perfect. Thanks, Ted.
So anyway, this is Cruisin with Ted Krabowski. Welcome to Bespoke Travel Planning. Since the turn of the century, we have successfully assisted tens of thousands of discerning travelers like you. We take care of cruises, land vacations. These are some of the things that we add. Custom tours, travel insurance, very important. We're experts on that. Private hosting, onboard services, cruises as well. So you asked about where do we find out more information about future Zoom presentations like that. Just scan that code there or go to my Facebook page, Cruisin with Ted. Follow the page, make sure you click on that to follow us. And this will have a recording of this video there. Plus we'll have one on our Facebook page as well. And also this is our YouTube channel where you can subscribe and you can see all of the things that are all the different videos we have. We're coming out videos all the time. So if you want to see a copy of this video, all you have to do is subscribe. You go on my channel. There's a place where you can scan it and get right on there. Okay. We do have exclusive offers. So when you want to book something, call us. We have what's called run a ship offers. We closely follow cruises and land packages, and we know when the prices go down because they're trying to fill up certain seats or certain cabins, so we can upgrade you or we can offer you exclusive discounts. And I wanted to just go over this some of these pictures here, Nico.
Yes.
We've covered them already, but just help me out here and just explain what we're looking at here.
All right, so here to the left, that is Pyramid Falls. You're able to experience that on our Journey Through the Clouds trip. And the only way to see that waterfall is actually traveling with us, or if you hike, I'm not sure how many miles, but it is a pretty exclusive, what is it? I guess point of interest that you're able to see while traveling with us. And then to the right here, we have Mount Ronson, which is overlooks the town of Banff.
Okay. All right, let's look at the next one.
So to the left here, we have the Glacier Skywalk that overlooks the Athabasca Glacier. So when traveling between Jasper and Banff or Lake Louise or vice versa, that is done by motor coach, but we include sightseeing. So you're traveling down the scenic Icefield Parkway, and we stop at the Columbia Icefield, where you get to go on one of the snow coaches onto the Athabasca Glacier and get to go on the Glacier Skywalk.
Which itinerary is that on, a route?
So it really depends on the package that you choose. So it could be on any 3 of our rail routes, but if you combine Jasper and Banff on your itinerary, that will be included.
Okay, and wouldn't it be wise for them to reach out to me because we're so familiar with it? Some of the different places overlap. Some of them have additions you can add on. For example, if you're leaving from Vancouver, you can add on certain places you can visit there. There's unlimited number of variations. So because this is all we do, plan things like this, I think it would help for them to reach out to us directly.
Yes, absolutely. And, I know that you mentioned Vancouver. We also make a great pre or post for Alaska cruises going in and out of Vancouver. So definitely keep that in mind.
And some of the cruises, I think, like Viking, actually have it as part of it, and a bunch of others too have you guys connected.
That is correct.
But instead of booking it through the cruise lines, you reach out to us, we can help you further and answer all your questions.
Definitely.
And who's this guy in the middle here? Good-looking guy.
Yep, in the middle there, that is me at the entrance to Arches National Park. And then to the right there, that is the Banff Gondola that goes up Sulphur Mountain. So again, that's one of our transfer sightseeing that we offer. So when you're going back and forth between Banff, Lake Louise, over to Calgary, vice versa, that is one of the sightseeing that's included on that transfer. As well, if you are traveling during the summer, we do have a lake cruise up Lake Minnewanka. On this slide here, this is our fabulous SilverLeaf Plus lounge coach, me behind the bar. Promise I didn't drink anything while back there. And then to the right there, that's one of our hosts up in Canada in our Gold Leaf service. As you can see, the Gold Leaf service, the domes do go up a little bit higher up on the roof, but we do have the dedicated hosts in both sections or both levels of services. And then here to the left, we have our snow coaches that take you onto the Athabasca Glacier that I mentioned earlier. And then in the middle, that is me again, right in front of our train, just about to board in Denver. I live in Florida, and 50 degrees was a bit too cold for me, so I definitely had my puffer jacket on. And then this is some of the gourmet cuisine that we serve on board. While traveling in Canada, you can expect items like Pacific caught salmon and Alberta prime beef. So lots of great options, tailored to where you're traveling to. And then there we have another one of our hosts in our SilverLeaf coach serving lunch. And then to the right there, we have the famous Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise, which is the main hotel that we use in Lake Louise. So you can see those glacier waters on Lake Louise there. It's just a stunning color. One thing I do want to keep in mind, if you are traveling through Lake Louise, the lake usually won't thaw out until June or so. So just keep that in mind if you are traveling during our spring season.
Okay, and here's my contact information if you want to get a hold of me. A few things, and you may have mentioned this already, Nico, but there is a difference between the Red Rocks and the Rockies. On the Red Rocks for now, there's SilverLeaf only, right?
Yep, SilverLeaf and SilverLeaf Plus. And then in Canada, we have both Gold Leaf and SilverLeaf. Right,
and it's not, you don't have to do the Gold Leaf, if it depends on your budget. The main difference is you're going to get more people serving you, better food, and
more food options.
I think the hotels are better on Gold, or you can get either way.
So when traveling with SilverLeaf, and this is speaking on Canada only, So if you're traveling with Silverleaf in Canada, you are going to be receiving the more moderate properties and standard rooms. If you are traveling with Goldleaf, you have a bit more options when it comes to the hotels you choose. If you wanted to be more budget conscious, you can select those Silverleaf hotels. But if you are looking to splurge, you can definitely upgrade to our Superior or Premium, which will give you properties like the Fairmont and the Rimrock. Even if you wanted to upgrade to club level rooms, you have that option as well.
So if you have Silverleaf, you can upgrade the hotels, right?
No, Silverleaf, you are stuck with the standard hotels. But with Goldleaf, you do have the flexibility of choosing either the standard or the upgraded.
Okay, but frankly, any of the services you get are going to be great. Okay?
Oh, either way, it's phenomenal. Like I traveled in Silverleaf and I was blown away.
Okay, so if you want to upgrade, you can, but don't go on the train just because you feel like you have to get the Goldleaf. The other thing I might mention is, here's what's so cool about Rocky Mountaineer is that you never, once you're on, you don't touch your luggage, and the luggage doesn't go on the train with you. Is that correct?
That is correct. So, for example, when I was in Denver, the day I was boarding the train, I left my bags in my room. The hotel staff did a bag pickup, and then that is given to our staff. The bags are then loaded onto a truck, which goes faster than our train, since I mentioned we go about 30 miles an hour. So they get to the destination before the train does. So when you pull into the station before getting off the train, you're actually already checked into the hotel and you're given your room keys. So when you get to your next hotel, you don't have to wait in line to check in. It's all already taken care of for you. So you can just go straight to your room and your bags are waiting for you in your room.
So the way I look at it, because I mainly work with cruises, but this is so similar to a cruise where you're not juggling your bags, you're not trying to find stuff. It's very simple and direct, and it's so convenient. Plus, you're traveling a part of the world which most of you have not seen, and frankly could not see if it wasn't for the Rocky Mountaineer.
Correct.
One other thing too you should keep in mind, and this is why you should call me, you could even go on the, let's say, Journey Through the Clouds. So at the end, can you still do this? Rent a car and then go on?
Yep, you can do that. So you can definitely book, one of our packages that includes, multiple nights and that sort of thing. But if you want to do your own thing, you can definitely book rail only.
All right, but at the end, they'll get a rental car and they can even arrange hotels on the way to through, right? Included in the package.
Yes. Yep, you can do it that way as well.
All I'm saying, there's so many options at Rocky Mountaineer, and I tell you, the people that work at Rocky Mountaineer that help you are the best. I mean, they're so nice. They work out. They send you a whole written schedule and what's going to happen when. And then on top of that, if you book through me, we're even more familiar with some of the things that clients want to know about. We can help you every step of the way. So take advantage of that. It's at least once in a lifetime thing to do, right?
Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you for watching today. We have a website called cruisinwithted.com. It's the same as everything else. We have Cruisin' with Sal, Cruisin' with Ted. I wanted to thank you, Nico, for spending time with us. Do join our Rocky Mountaineer group, and it's going to be a great experience. Thank you for watching today, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Nico. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Ted thanks you for watching and asks you to subscribe to Cruisin' with Ted on Facebook and YouTube.